From 2018 to 2022, I played for the UConn Huskies, and while we didn't enjoy much success when I was there, I decided to give myself a second chance to rebuild the program in NCAA Football 24. I even imported the OG 2018 roster. Also joining me today will be Xavier Scott, a former UConn teammate who now plays for the Colts. So we're going to be answering a lot of questions like what if Zay didn't transfer to Maine, and what if I didn't break my collarbone in 2019? But it's important to note that before we get into the gameplay, we do have some rules for the series. Starting off, we can only play in 3 regular season games, and one of them must be against our rival team UMass. And that does not limit us to any postseason game, so any bowl game, playoff, whatever, conference championship, we can play in those. And to make this series a little bit more interesting, a little bit more difficult, on offense, we're not allowed to punt or kick the football, no matter the situation. And our only rule for defense is that we cannot play defense until we get into the 4th quarter. And finally, if I don't win a national championship before my eligibility in game runs out, I will be buying a copy of the new College Football 25 video game for a subscriber who likes and comments on the video below. We are starting off in the MAC conference, but we still have Florida scheduled for game 1. So me and Zay decided to rip the band-aid off and jump in, and this low overall is not going to do us any favors. To start the game off, we actually started moving the ball pretty well and managed to get on the plus side of the field. I made some solid throws over the middle, and we were actually pretty confident in this first drive. Zay got his first carry under his belt. We were set up to start off the game pretty hot until this play kind of stopped us in our tracks. We did not make a good read, we didn't deliver a good football, and definitely paid the price for it. No, dude, they have a...
No, where am I?
A tragedy has struck. So after getting the ball back right away, we continued on with our struggle, and we started to realize this was going to be a lot tougher of a challenge than we thought. Regardless though, we were still trying to cook something up. And after this read option play, we had our first injury scare of the season. No! 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 Zay! Regardless, we still had a job to do, and we're trying to get on the board for our first touchdown of the season. And luckily, Zay's injury was only minor, and he could return back into the game. And on this next play, I was trying to cook up the perfect play call to get Zay his first touchdown. I think we might get our first touchdown here, bro. High to the back corner. And the 2-player co-op was definitely something we had to get used to. Get it!
How do you catch? What button was it again? Wait, hold on.
It's Y. It's Y.
It's Y?
So I went right back to him on this Texas route, and we would have had another touchdown, but the ball gets batted. So we went back to that same play, hoping to get a similar coverage, but I'm not going to lie, they kind of got me on this one.
Get down.
Man, we're good though. We got to have a short memory and bounce back for this 2-minute drive. Oh no. Bro, this is so difficult, man. So as you can see, things are not going the way we intended them to, but all hope is not lost. We still got a lot of game to finish, which brings us to late in the 3rd quarter. We even started making some really nice throws down the field and drove the ball all the way down. I nearly got my first touchdown on this run, and that set up our first touchdown of the series, getting Zay his first score. Yes, sir.
Walk in. Yo, that's crazy.
All right, D, come on, D.
Touchdown ever was a 2-yard touchdown.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was a receiving touchdown.
Cue the highlight right now.
Goal just outside the 2. They fake the jet sweep. Pindell the throw underneath. Touchdown. Xavier Scott. And the Huskies inch a little bit closer.
So as you guys remember, we cannot kick or punt the football, so we had to go for 2 here, and the O-line completely breaks down, but I still find a way to get it to my receiver. He drops it, it gets picked again, but not even the fact that we didn't convert. The worst news comes that I am injured. I start cooking up with Dave Pindell, the starting quarterback from my freshman season, but we're still struggling to find our groove a little bit, and after that play, it is finally revealed my injury status. Now we got... broken collarbone!
Broken collarbone?
That's what happened to me in real life! I managed to still complete our first passing touchdown of the season. Since it was the 4th quarter, we could hop in on defense, but that proved to be a costly decision because I mixed up exactly who I was using, and I left a wide receiver wide open for an easy touchdown for them. Don't ask me how, but that led us to 4th and 25 with less than a minute to go, and somehow Zay gets open and we make this crazy completion. Yes!
Oh my!
Zay! Let's go, baby. And after throwing another dime for a touchdown, Dave Pindell proved why he was the starter in real life. We also completed the 2-point conversion, which gives us a chance to actually get the ball back and possibly win this football game. But unfortunately, the onside kick would not go our way, and we would lose our first game of the season against Florida. So since I was injured and out for 6 weeks, we hit the recruiting board pretty hard and tried to build up our team a little bit for the future. We also ended up simming pretty far ahead in the season, so that way I could be healthy enough to play. So looking at all the games we simmed through, we take a big L against Arizona in week 2. We do get our first W on the season against an FCS West team though, and follow it up with a surprising win over Central Michigan, but any momentum we had is ruined with an L against Ball State, and that snowballs into week 6 against Western Michigan. On a brighter note, we are getting some pretty decent recruits to commit still, and we even pull out a pretty big W over Navy, which helps us leading into week 9 against Bowling Green with another W. Eastern Michigan in week 10 proves to be a costly loss, unfortunately, but even after that, we still pick up some solid recruits, getting a 70 overall center, a 67 overall middle linebacker, and another 60 overall linebacker. We end up taking a peek at the schedule and seeing that Northern Illinois is 6-3 on the season, so we decide to sim against Buffalo, but that proves to be a costly mistake because we actually end up taking an L against them. But regardless, it's time for us to plan our first home game against NIU, and it's definitely a must-win scenario because we still have a chance to make a bowl game this season. We'd make our return to the field as well, sleeveless in the snow, and start off the game handing the ball to Zay for a pretty big rush, and I'd follow it up nicely with a big rush of my own. Then immediately I'd follow it up with a huge completion to Zay over the middle, and we're starting to get in the groove of this 2-player co-op, completing another close 4th and 4. And then it couldn't have lined up any more perfect. I tell Zay to get open here. He has all the space in the world. I put it right on his chest, and he just doesn't see the ball coming, and I miss out on the chance of throwing my first passing touchdown. But it was only 1st and goal, so we have another chance.
No. Why am I broken?
And that brings up 3rd and goal where nothing is open, so I scramble out to the left, try to find a lane, and barely get tackled before getting in the end zone. And tragedy strikes again as our player is down right before getting his first touchdown, and we bring in a 3rd-string Marvin Washington to throw another dime for a touchdown, and then get the easy 2-point conversion. Luckily though, my injury was only minor, but apparently I went cold in that time on the sideline because... Oh, don't run a post into... that far.
No, that was
crazy.
I saw the other dude and I tried to...
Bouncing back though on the next series, we wanted to come out strong, so we throw a nice ball over the middle here. And then I see an opening and try to dial up something with Zay right here. Bro, just take it up top, bro. Just take it. Just go. Just go, bro. Just go. Just go, Zay.
Oh.
Just go, Zay. Just go, Zay. Just go, Zay. Let's go. Yes. So we finally done it. We've thrown our first touchdown pass, and it was a deep bomb to Zay. It couldn't have went any better, but we still got a game to finish, bringing us to a 2-minute series where I'd find Zay on this 3rd down over the middle again and go right back to him on this Texas route. Then I throw an absolute dime to Garrison Burnett on this comeback route, putting us into a 1st and goal situation. Things were going great until they weren't. With 5 seconds to go, I would try to force the ball into Hergy in the end zone, and it would get undercut for our 2nd pick of the game. And we were just making way too many freshman mistakes out here. Oh, there's no way he just undercut that dig route right there. How did he undercut that, dude? And head coach Kevin Kelly was starting to feel like he had to take the kid out of the game. Luckily though, he gave us one more chance and we could not blow this last opportunity to stay on the field. And that decision proved to pay off because we would find a wide open Garrison Burnett up the right sideline for the touchdown to take the lead. Let's go, G! Let's go, G! Let's go, Garrison! All we needed to do now was make the 2-point conversion, and luckily Zay would get open for me. We would give him an easy dump off. That brings us to a situation where we can finally hop in on defense, and all we need to do is get a stop here, not let them score a touchdown, and we should win the game. But as you can tell, being 2 offensive players, we were struggling on defense, and they were driving the ball on us pretty easily. On this 3rd and 5, the receiver got wide open, but ended up dropping the ball, so they had to go for it on 4th down. And of course, our pass rush was really struggling this game, and it gave the quarterback just enough time to find the back of the end zone to take the lead against us. So with 49 seconds left, we had to drive the length of the field and score a touchdown because we could not kick field goals in this series. Then with 40 seconds left, I would get moved out of the pocket, roll out to my right, and find a wide open Q Scanes on the right sideline. He would get out of bounds on the 5-yard line. So 1st and goal with 36 seconds left. We went double slants here, and I would find Tyreek Beals on the easy flat route here for the score to take back the lead. We missed out on the 2-point conversion, but it didn't matter because with 7 seconds left, they would check the ball down underneath and run out of time. not being able to clock it, and we would get our first W playing together in the snow at home. And while it wasn't pretty, it definitely felt good to get the W. Coming up next was our match against UMass, and this was actually a massive game because we were playing for bowl eligibility at this point, and we were on the road at their stadium. But we would start it off nicely. I'd get some completions to Zay and throw some really good balls, and we'd practically drive all the way down on our very first drive. I would then carry this read option all the way to the 3-yard line. Thankfully, I didn't get hurt this time, and we would hand it to Zay for an easy touchdown. We'd fail on the 2-point conversion, but I'd go right back to Zay on the next drive, finding him in this hole shot. We'd hurry that play up, and I would take another shot to him. He would go up and make this insane grab.
I did the wiggle. I did the wiggle. I did the wiggle.
You did the wiggle. I did the wiggle. I'd find him on a nice little halfback screen, and he would get tackled short of the touchdown somehow. So then I would just walk it in on a QB power and follow it up with the same play on the 2-point conversion. Somehow UMass managed to put 10 points up on the board, and we had ourselves a game here. But that didn't matter because I would roll out to the left and throw a prayer up to Zay off my back foot and find him all the way up the left sideline. He would make the catch. No way, bro. Watch. Oh my gosh. The footwork on the throw right there. Oh my goodness, bro.
The flick of the wrist.
Zay was out of the game for being tired at that point, so he would man up Garrison on the outside on this post route. I would try to throw it on time for him, and it just did not work out well for me. It would go straight to the corner for another pick, and I've thrown so many picks with this player. That's definitely something we need to improve on next season. Defense came up with a big stop. We drove it down, and I found Zay, and he would get tackled short of the touchdown again. Oh, no.
I'm reaching.
Real Zay is getting in the end zone. To make it worse, he would get taken out of the game, and I would hand it to Kevin Mensah, our backup running back, for the touchdown. We'd fail in the 2-point conversion again, but it didn't matter because late in the third quarter, I would roll out and find a wide open Hergy Mayala on the right sideline for an easy touchdown. From there on out, all we had to do was not make any crucial mistakes and get another touchdown to secure the game. I'd find our star tight end Tyler Davis on the left sideline on another rollout here. Things get a little scary though after they pressure, and I go to get it to Tyler again, and I throw the ball. It actually comes up as a fumble. Luckily, Matt Pert, who plays for the Giants now, is able to recover for us. So we're in empty now, and Zay mans up Keon Dixon, who actually ended up transferring out of UConn to Eastern Kentucky, but he was one of the fastest players I ever met, but unfortunately, we just overthrow him on this ball. And as you know, since it's the fourth quarter, we hop in on defense, but it's proven to not work out well for us in each and every game, as UMass dials up the perfect play on this wide receiver screen. They go for the 2-point conversion. We cover it pretty much perfectly, but they somehow are able to still catch it and make this a 2-point game. From here on out, we knew we just needed to run the clock down to get the W, and Zay broke off some really nice runs. What I saw here pre-snap, they were going into some sort of cover 2 and knew I could get away with throwing a touchdown to Hergy, and I definitely needed one with how many picks we've thrown in this series so far. That would prove to become the final dagger of the game, and we would secure bowl eligibility. Unfortunately though, it still seemed like we were missing out on some key recruits, so I'm hoping with a bowl victory that'll bring in some solid players. And this game did actually start off really well with Zay bouncing it out on the right side and getting a solid 45-yard return to help build some momentum. And that momentum would continue on offense as we're able to find a wide open Hergy on 3rd and 11 to get this massive play to start off the game. I'd follow it up with this crazy scramble, breaking the pocket, getting up the left sideline, making 2 defenders miss. You've never seen that in real life. I'm surprised to see it in the game.
Bro, I thought you was... That was crazy. You hit the little walk back and walk up. You hit the...
Then after those 2 massive plays, we'd find a wide open Garrison Burnett to open up the scoring on the day. We'd also convert to Zay on the 2-point conversion with an easy Texas route, and we are up 8-0 just like that. We started to motion Zay out to empty and have him run his own routes. He would run this perfect corner for us, and then for some reason we decided to call a speed option, and it goes about as you would expect as I go to pitch it, and it's a massive fumble. Luckily we do recover it though.
So let's not do that again.
Bad ball. And on this 4th and 18, we'd motion Zay out again, and I'd make a crazy adjustment on the fly. Post.
Yep.
Let's go, Zay. I'd follow that up with a nice read and run up the middle, finding the open hole and penetrating it for a 12-yard rush. And on this 3rd and 11, I throw a beautiful ball to the end zone, but Tyreek Beals can just not come down with it, forcing us into a 4th and 11 situation where I would ultimately force it into way too much traffic and it would get picked off. Oh, that's on me. I tried to fit it. That's on me. And I don't even know what happened on this next play. We had a wide open receiver, and our guy just absolutely blew it with the accuracy, throws it right to the defender for another interception. And this just goes to show we have a lot to work on in the offseason. Surprisingly, though, our defense was holding up and getting us the ball back with great field position, but we were still struggling on offense. Going for it on this 4th and 1, I would hand it to Zay, and he would cut it up and not be able to get the first down.
Ooh, what did he hit? He bounced back.
George, bro. He hit Cam.
Bro.
That's not on you. That's not on you. From there on, our momentum was shot. I was trying to make a play on this 1st and 10. I try to find Beals on the right sideline, but severely underthrow it, and it goes right to the corner again. And it is absolutely nuts at this point that we are still winning this game. On this 4th and inches, we go for a little QB sneak, and I get 3 yards on it. But then we immediately follow it up and go right back into 4th and long and fail to convert. From there on, they finally get on the board with a field goal. But at this point, we have 2 minutes to go, and it's in the 4th quarter. And things are looking pretty solid. We hand the ball to Zay up the middle. He has a pretty nice run. We go back to the read play. I misread it, and we lose a massive chunk. With it being 4th and 5, we would just kick this in real life and take the lead, but no, not in this series, so we have to go for it. I would try to put it on Zay over the middle. It would hit his hands, and he would get hit out, and we were not happy about that one.
Oh, you catch that. You got to catch that, bro. You got to catch that. That's right in your mitts. Oh, bro.
So with 39 seconds to go, we hop back on defense and try to get a stop here. And things start off pretty well as they just take a little flat round for only a 9-yard reception. They have a long way to go with no timeouts remaining. We were feeling pretty confident after this wide receiver screen did not work out, but there was still 16 seconds left and a lot of yards for them to cover. And at this point, I thought we had this secured. I click on to the corner, go up for the pick, and somehow the receiver comes down with it on a 43-yard reception with 9 seconds left. Clock stops in college after a first down, so they're able to get one more play off. They throw a Hail Mary to the back of the end zone, and boom, it's over. Wait, no. One second, bro.
It's all down to this. This story gonna be amazing, boy.
Surely our season is not gonna end like this, but I'll just let this one play out for you guys to see how it goes.
Yep.
Zay, what just happened? What just happened?
Ain't no damn way. Ain't no way. There's zero chance that just happened.
Somehow number 11 catches the ball, gets hit, the ball comes out, and then number 5 grabs it with one hand and has nobody in the way for him to take it in the end zone to beat us in our first bowl game of the series. Guys, I cannot believe this happened. Even watching this footage back now, it is like unreal. That has got to be one of the most unlucky Hail Mary plays in the history of NCAA football. So our season ends on a really bad note, but all in all, there's still some to build on. Hopefully we'll bring in some recruits, and we're going to be back for next season, guys. Okay, checking out some stats from the season. We finished 168 on 317 attempts for 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 15 INTs, which honestly isn't terrible stats for a true freshman quarterback, but we definitely got to bump up that completion percentage. You already know my boy Zay led the team in rushing with 764 yards on the ground with 9 touchdowns, averaging 4.1 per carry. That's pretty solid. And surprisingly, I had 309 yards carrying too, which is actually not that bad, considering I missed 6 weeks of the season too. Now my boy Herge led the team in receiving. He will be missed. He had 7 touchdowns for almost 1,000 yards. Xavier came in a close second, not as many touchdowns. The only touchdown coming in that NIU game, but he still had 625 yards. Our star tight end Tyler Davis coming in third with 613 yards and 4 touchdowns. Tyreek Bills had 4 touchdowns as well. Him and Hergy will definitely be missed. And Garrison has set himself up for a pretty solid future with the Huskies. And as you guys know, we definitely got to show the O-line some love. They are the most important part of the offense. And we love to see that Christian Haynes got some action this season, because if you don't know, he is going to be drafted very high in this 2024 draft. He had an amazing career at UConn and is one of my closer friends that I've had. So definitely exciting to play by him again in this series. But that'll do it, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. If you made it this far, make sure to drop a like, a comment, and let me know if you want to see anything specific in this series moving forward. It is my first rebuild, but I just appreciate you guys and all the support on this channel. So I will see you in the next one.